Hello my people, my name is Manolo, and today's video is about keeping the momentum and keeping the streak alive. So I'm assuming you use Snapchat, right? Well, if you're like below 25 and below, I'm assuming you have Snapchat, or you probably heard of it. But in this platform, there's this thing called streaks, right? You snap a photo, you send it every day, and like in 3 days, you get like a streak, right? And you know, that's a social media platform, and to be honest, it has no really meaning behind it. It's just kind of useless. The only thing you get is like a number, and it says like the amount of days you kept the streak alive. But if you really think about it, you can make your life kind of like that. Like with all your habits, essentially, you want to keep the momentum alive. You want to keep the streak alive. Because even if you don't do it, like let's say you read a book, right? Say maybe you don't read it completely, or you just look at the page, you're still keeping the streak alive. You still open the book, you still did something. So this is really important because momentum helps you get closer to your goals. Because without momentum, you're stuck. You're still at the same place you were yesterday. So momentum is the concept of like getting from point A to point B, and then to point B to point C. And this is the importance of momentum. Like it's a life-changing mindset if you really think about it. So I'll share a quick example of like momentum and like the gym and stuff. So when I first started going to the gym, right, like, or could be like anybody when they first start going to the gym, like you don't really see success. You know, you ask yourself, why am I doing this, and like why should I continue doing this? But you have to get past that boredom of that not seeing nothing change. But it's the small habits, right, that accumulate over time of showing up. You know, 3 months down the line, you see a little bit of improvement in your physique. 6 months down the line, you see a little bit more improvement. And then like 1 year later, boom, you're like, whoa, I'm so strong, right? Because from that year that passed from when you first started, let's say you look at a photo from a year ago, you look at a photo from now, like the amount of change that you will see is crazy. Like the amount of improvement that you made was drastic, right? But in the moment you don't see it because those are the small habits that accumulate over time. They're small components, but they accumulate over time and they make a big change. And then it's just getting past that boredom and of not seeing nothing change. So that's why I mean by like keeping the momentum alive and like just showing up. Like even if you don't, like let's say like right, I go to the gym and I just at least show up to the gym 5 minutes, doesn't have to be an hour, just showing up, it literally keeps the momentum and streak going. So it's like a psychological thing. Like if you have that in the back of your mind, you're like, yo, I can't miss the gym, I can't let the momentum stop. Life is literally like a video game when you really think about it. Like your life is a video game. Obviously I'm not saying go freaking steal a car and like jump off a helicopter like in GTA. But what I'm trying to say is like you can change your life. You just gotta view it like that. Because you know how like in a video game, like for example Minecraft, you can get, you know, you start off in a random world, random seed, like a random location. You gotta cut down trees, you know, get your house, you know, build a village, and then, you know, build a colony. That's what I'm trying to say. Like think of your life as a character. But the only thing is, it's not a video game. This is real life. But there's concepts that you can get from video games to apply in real life. You can change your character in the real physical world. And that's beautiful because you're just one choice away from getting there, one step away. But it takes time, it takes momentum. You gotta keep the streak going. Strategies for maintaining streaks, I'll give you one. Like let's say you want to start reading books, right? Or yeah, basically make your habits easy, achievable, and attractive. I read this book, Atomic Habits. It's really good. It was made by James Clear. I highly suggest reading it. But let's say essentially I want to start reading books, right? Have the book ready right beside my bed or right beside like my counter. So like when I wake up, right, the first thing I see is my book. So little things like that matter. Or let's say you want to stop eating cookies or junk food or like sugary food, right? Let's say I always have like in the cabinets, I always have like a stack of like cookies, right? Boom. Either I don't even allow myself to have them in the house, or in order to get those cookies, I have to do like 40 push-ups. Like small things like that change the game, and it helps a lot. Like honestly, I got to the point where like I don't really crave like sugary foods like that. Obviously some days I do, but just knowing that it's bad for me and it's really bad for my acne. That's why I don't eat it too. I can make a whole video about habits, but just like making the bad habits hard to achieve and hard to attain makes a difference. And the good habits, like, make it easy to attain and make it attractive. Like, let's say you read a book, right? Later down in the day, like, I don't know, go for a walk or do something you like, go play video games for like 5, 20, 30 minutes, doesn't matter. Just reward yourself for the good habits and punish yourself for the bad habits. Overall, that's essentially what the book Atomic Habit is. So if you have the chance, I highly suggest reading it. And find accountability partners, like literally having people who you can rely on, like when you can't keep the momentum going or whatever. Like having friends who you can go to, like, yo, I need some help, I need some guidance. Like literally that helps. Like whether you believe it or not, that helps a lot. So find accountability partners, some friends, whatever. As long as they have sort of like the same mindset or the same goal as you, then that helps a lot. So overcoming the challenges, like when you try to like build better habits, every day is not going to be perfect. There's going to be some days where like you're going to question like, how do I overcome this challenge? How do I get over this? But the best advice I got for you is literally just keep the momentum going or whatever. Like as long as you show up, it doesn't matter if you didn't like read the book all the way or like read 5 pages or 10 pages or 10 minutes. As long as you open the book and just like read it or look at it later, you're still keeping the momentum going. Like even if you can't do a full workout because you're too busy, just show up to the gym for like 5 minutes. Literally just go for a little run. Small things like these make a humongous difference, like in the long run. So keep at it, keep going, and stay strong. And also, if you see something's not working, change your approach. Like let's say 2 months down the line you're doing something and it doesn't work. Don't be afraid to change your approach and the way you manage your habits. Like change the way you perceive things, if that makes sense. Don't rely on something and rely on that forever. That's why we're humans, because we evolve, because that's how we are. Humans in general, we evolve, we get better, we learn from mistakes, we look for different approaches, and just doing that, like, you can make anything happen. So let's say you made a humongous achievement, right? Or it doesn't even have to be humongous, like even the small wins, celebrate them. I'm not saying go throw a party or whatever. You can if you make like a humongous achievement, but like, let's say you read a book, like I said before, like reward yourself. Like don't be afraid to spoil yourself when you do the right thing. And also don't be afraid to punish yourself when you do the wrong things. Like, you know how some people, when they're in a relationship, even though the other person doesn't like truly love them, they still spoil them, they give them this, they give them attention, whatever. Reverse that, do a Uno reverse, put that attention back to you, spoil yourself, but only if you're doing the right things. Like, just don't be afraid to spoil yourself. I'm not saying go over the board and like spend so much money. Like, no, reward like yourself, buy yourself like a nice meal, go out for a walk, go do fun things. Like small things like these like make a humongous difference. Like, I'm so serious. Like, don't be afraid to spoil yourself if you're doing the right things. And like I said before, don't be afraid to punish yourself if you're doing the wrong things. But yeah, I'm gonna just summarize everything. Essentially, keep the streak alive. You know on Snapchat how you do streaks and whatever, and you send photos every single day. Like, that's virtual. That has no significance besides you just get a number. But apply this mindset to real life, and that's how you get better every single day. Keeping the streak alive, keeping the momentum alive. That's all that matters. That's how you get better every single day. Even if some days are bad or whatever, as long as you keep the momentum on, you'll get better eventually, and you're gonna be far ahead of where you would have been if you didn't keep the momentum on. And just getting past that hurdle of like, you don't feel like doing it, because once you get past that, you can make anything happen.